and all that. Bezos! Or do we need to change the game even further? You've made it as far as you can. Now it's time to go above and beyond the call of duty. Bezos! Never leave revenue on the table. No need to get your feet out. Peruvian beans! What's your take on it? Let's go further, build smarter. Business, third floor business, fourth floor business. Congolese beans.
The other Greeks doing not too bad.
Kokonakis. Fantastic stuff. Will you shape the future? Or will you be shaped by the future? We're living in a great age. The age of the Lewis and the age of the crane. Feel the power of the crane. And there we go. He's swinging. He's moving. This is Sparta. Rwandan beans. Looks like Pat Spillane, but they blurred out his face. Let's go and see what's going on inside the rock room at the drop. Head honcho on congos. Got the receptionist on the maracas. Head developers on the acoustic. Just gone to waste. Get a nice little blasted on, we'll be back in business again. Another powerful Monday. Welcome to the stream. You've driven all you can drive. It's just another day in absolute paradise. Now it's time to harness the power of the working week. Fantastic car. Check that bad boy out. Standing proud. Office barista unit. Salesforce. Packing the poachers. Going on a bean quest on Monday morning. A vigorous rub with some tissue paper. This little fella, lovely. Truly remarkable beast. I don't know, what's your take on it? Your primetime sin swirl. Been doing a lot of thinking. Ethiopian beans. Book cab? Yep. I think we really need to bring in HR. Flavoursome bean development. Colombian beans. St. Stephen's. I'll take you to the forecourts. You'll be buried alive. That's not gonna cut the mustard. You need to check and verify all relative and reasonable sources before you go ahead. Because I swear to God, if you run that story, I will crush you in so many ways. He's a good man. It was bluster, it was just style. I will come after you. You know I will. I don't care. Whether it's the Times or the Indo, the Herald, don't even try it. Yeah, see you in hell. See you in hell. How's it going, guys? Just off the phone there, I've actually just got in from Paris. And I'm fighting fires already. Immediately there's a big story about the Yateser. And he's in bits. She just got in from Paris last night. I was actually enjoying the Paris Masters at the La Défense Arena. And then the phone starts going mental. Yates is being absolutely pilloried in the press. He's in bits. He's in absolute bits. So I'm actually going around town today. I'm actually going to head down to News Talk and ruffle a few feathers down there as well, because there's been a bit of argy-bargy. I'm not sure you're aware, but Ivan did a little bit of work. He was doing a bit of work on the side advising Gavin for the presidency. And between the jigs and the reels, he was saying that they should smear the fuck out of Fine Gael at the time, and didn't even say or state there was a conflict of interest there. But that's just Yates being Yates. That's Ivan being Ivan. It's bluster. He's a media gopher. Just get in here out the rain for a moment. Holy shit. Whirlwind. Absolute nightmare of a day so far. Only got about 3 or 4 hours skip. The Paris Masters was fantastic, by the way. Let me just make sure we're on. I hope you're having a great morning anyway, and it's not going as bad as mine. Absolutely pissed wet as well. Early morning beans. Bianconi House shenanigans. How you getting on, Static? Looney Tune. Other Jeff. We're still rolling anyway, that's good. Yeah, I just wanted to get on and ask you what's your take on the whole situation with himself there as well before I go full bore, both barrels on it. I was already on the phone just there to a journalist who's going to run another story about him later on, and when I first got the messages from Yates, I was thinking, what's the problem? You love this stuff. You live for it. He loves the attention, But as the hours ticked on, the messages became a little bit more desperate and saying, this could really put an end to it. Cooper's in fucking bits. The Cooper's Cooper. Absolutely. He was blindsided by it, Path to Power, the podcast as it stands, might not ever happen again. And it fucking pains me to say that. It really does, because that shapes the agenda. It informs, and there's nothing else like it, Cooper's not on speaking terms with Yates. That's a bad sign, considering the partnership they forged, the alliance that they have forged. And not only in the podcasting realm and broadcasting sense, but they've got restaurants going. What's going to happen to the intergalactic steakhouse? What about the spice box? These are great names, which sadly may not even be in operation come hell or high water by tomorrow or the day after. Kaylee, thank you very, very much for the tip, and Andy the Fork, and Horses Under Starlight. Very, very kind of you. Just check out 4 and 5. We'll get a coffee first. We might have a look at 4 and 5 Park Place, see how it's going. And I'm not sure whether or not to Art of Coffee it up or Starbies. Let's just see what the lay of the land is there for a moment. I hope you're having a powerful morning. It's Tuesday, still another 4 whole days of grindstone action available in order to maximize profits and really boost sales potential. Is it open? It's not open. It doesn't open until 7. What time is it now? It's 7. Maybe it's 7:30 that opens. It's gonna have to be a Starbies. Let's go. Unbelievable scenes, and the journals are just waiting to be filled with more tattletales about what his business dealings were. The communication breakdown between Fianna Fáil and Yates as well regarding Fianna Fáil and the media in the run-up to the election. I was just at the Oireachtas, and I gotta say, Taoiseach really is in bits. He said, Connor, what's the story here? You need to get onto Yateser and start to get some answers, because we've had to put out a statement. We get a coffee here. I'll fill you in with all the details in a moment. Don't know why I'm laughing, it's just nerves, I mean, I'm scared for my friend. I'm scared for what's going to happen to him. How's it going there? Could I have a grande Americano, please, to go?
Yes. Do you want room for milk?
I'll have room for milk, yes, please.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's great. Thank you very much. Connor.
Arizona.
Thank you very much. Oh, God. Just give this a bit of a wipe here, guys. Yeah, he's in bits. The guy's in bits. I really feel sorry for him, I was just at his muse. He has a secondary muse for when he's doing his media stuff in and around Dublin. And Came to the door. A bottle of Jameson in one hand. Wearing the silk kimono that I bought back from Japan. And he didn't look happy, you know. I said to him, that kimono's seen better days. He said, yeah, not today. And we don't know where it's gonna end. We don't know what the upshot of this is, or where it's gonna go, where it's gonna lead, but we know for certain that we don't know. And that's the one thing we do know. So I mean, it's nice to be certain about that, but it's you're certain about uncertainty, which is never a certain thing. It never feels good. It's the wrong kind of certainty. What you do want is to be certain about certain. Oh, thank you very much. You want to be certain about certain stuff, not certain about uncertainty. But there is a brief moment of respite that you get when you realize you're certain about the uncertainty. And look, what can I say? It's not a great start for him. I'm worried. I'm scared. You know. And I was there for maybe 2 hours trying to calm him down. Say, look, it's gonna be okay. We've been through worse. And it's not a bad thing for you as well. You know, it's great to have your name out there. People are talking about you. It's only one thing worse is when they're not talking about you. He said, I know, Connor. But what about the connections, the links between me, the government, and the media as well? That was a trifecta, which, not a lot of people have that stranglehold. But Yates does. Being Yates is not just a matter of being a man, it's a mindset. Where's the milk? I get a milk here, sorry. One moment. Thank you. Yeah. I said to him, sometimes you gotta take the rough with the smooth. Some people are gonna come out with a big bucket of shit and try and tip it over your head. You know why? Because they can see that you mean business. But you're a good guy with a good heart and a solid and firm grasp on public relations, PR, communication strategy, the whole 9 yards, and people love that, and it's something the world needs. It's something the country needs as well. So no one's gonna look. Give it a fucking few days. Let the news cycle filter through, and let's just let the shit wash away in the rain. And right now, I just have to be the rainmaker. I don't like doing it. It's a nasty business.
Somebody call Grant Thornton. We need an audit.
Thanks very much for that there. I'm just trying to open the phone here. Thank you very much for that tip there. Kaylee, actually, Vipox, thank you very much. Sean Kivlin, thank you very much for the cup of beans. And Vipox as well, and Gobbles, and Ethiopian Dream Stealer on me. Thank you very much. Grab yourself some African bean juice. Fuel your business fury with the only propellant appropriate to your acumen and caliber. Thank you very much. And Ivan Yates has nothing to do with my campaign, says Gobbles. And that was the line, wasn't it? That was the line that shone through, that stood out, that was picked upon by the media at the time during the run-up to the election. But it's not whether or not he had anything to do with Heather's campaign. Now the attention switches to Micheál Martin and the office of the Taoiseach, which has brought the office of the Taoiseach into disrepute. And it pains me to have to say it, because he's such a good guy. Anti-Trockner, thank you very much. Hi Cons, can you tell Ivan that the angel investors have full confidence on Yates on plates? This is a nothing burger of a story. It will blow over. P.S. Matt Cooper's on thin ice. More on that as we get it. Let me just recalibrate my setup here. I need to wipe the lenses of my glasses of the rain. There's too much rain on them, John. I'm using a Starbucks paper napkin to do that. We thought the drummer was especially good. Got talking to them afterwards. Great bunch of lads, says Vipox. I don't know what you're talking about there. How are you, Connor? Got a little story for you. Me and Sophistics have been to Japan. Last week we were in a jazz club in Shinjuku called The Pit, watching a jazz group called Naoto Suzuki, Resonance and Emission Quartet. The drummer was good. Got talked to him afterwards. The drummer turned out to be none other than Tappy Iwase, composer of the Metal Gear Solid soundtrack. You know, it's such an unbelievable story, but I'm willing to believe it based on your previous information, which you provided to me before, time and time again. Little tips here and there about the lay of the land, usually in the financial sector. But that's fantastic news as well, and great to hear he's still alive, because there were rumours that he actually had passed.
You've driven all you can drive.
So thank God for that, you know. Sean Perrow, thank you very, very much, and Brendan O'Hagan on the 709 to London, there for 3 days, and have an internal interview for a new job on the last day. It's been a while since my last competency review. Any advice on how to make a good impression for an internal interview? Many thanks, much love. At the moment, it's like watching the Lewis go by. It's a big event when it happens. It can be daunting. It can be once you get inside, it's like being in the interview room as well. It can be hot, it can be steamy, and there can be a lot of unknown quantities on board as well. One thing, a bit of spit there into the napkin. One thing's for certain. Ignore the noise. Block it out. You're on there for a reason, buddy. That train wouldn't be rolling if it wasn't for you. Just own it. Own that carriage when you get into it, and show them what you're worth. Always pay for your ticket as well. I know there's a big, you don't have to pay for the Lewis sort of rumour going around, but that's not. It's never been me. It's never been me, and it shouldn't be you either. And count your lucky stars. You're not actually in the middle of a meteor shitstorm, which has compromised the government and has other media entities discussing you at length and possibly even cutting ties for the future. We don't know. I just hope Coops can see it within his soul that podcast needs to keep going. It's one of the best, if not the best. But I think, just look, Ivan got a lot of attention during the campaign, and I feel as though he lost the run of himself slightly when he came out and said that about this, smeared them to high hell or whatever it was. I don't know what's more confusing, the lack of oversight and into Jim Gavin's previous, or letting Ivan Yates do that, and then knowing full well he's going to be given the blarney on any show that asks him to give his 2 cents. But we were there. I was just, as I said, at his muse before I went to see the Taoiseach, and Ivan was distraught. He said, "Look, tell Martin," pleading me, grabbed me by the arm as I was leaving. This is 2 hours I'd spent at his. We tried to unwind by watching a movie by Fellini, something that was artistic. It would take his mind off the shitstorm. And I also brought back some Chocolatici's finest from Paris. But he wasn't interested in it. He really wasn't interested in it at all. He said, "What about the angles? What about the cinematography? What about the mood, the mise en scène, the ambience?" And he couldn't get with the program at all. He grabbed me by the arm on the way out and just said, "Connor, save me. Save me, Connor." I said, "Look, that's all I've ever done, buddy. That's all I'm ever gonna do. Trust in me, and we'll fucking get through this." And he just started beefing. He went inside, Scary to think about it. Ivan the Terrible, thank you very much. Connor, I've been listening to your stream. I have to say I'm shocked and disappointed in what you've been saying. These kind of rumours should be washed away, not fanned into a fiery shitstorm. The neck of you, Williams. I'll find you. And that's a lovely, lovely sentiment. I mean, I suppose in a way you're just trying to mirror the feeling of foreboding, which is, you know, hovering over the hardcore coffee quadrant at the moment, like a pea soup cloud, a shitty cloud, you know. It's a real rainy, grey, drizzly, muggy affair. Just thankfully the weather and temperature is actually quite mild. It's actually quite mild for the you know, the day that's in it. You know, that takes a little bit of sting at the tail. But yeah, what's your take on it? What's your take on it anyway? Miss these cons though. Great to see you back on the Bean Ventures. The Peak. I hope you're getting on well. Good morning to you. National Bread, good morning. I hope you're doing well and having a powerful start to a Tuesday, and that the rest of your day is free from any of the malevolent fucking effluent, for want of a better term, which is what I'm faced with this morning. But you know, we'll power through. We'll power through. We always do. What is life if it isn't full of fucking obstacles and shitstorms? And you know, I was just hanging on for dear life. The office of the Taoiseach. He said, Connor, this doesn't look good for us. I said, look, it doesn't look good for Fianna Fáil anyway. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where are the policies? Where are the big changes? You know, whatever about the past, whatever about Bertie, stuff got done. Never mind the scandals there. He got results, and he put them on the table. Good Friday. We'll never forget that agreement. You know, Europe. How are you going to handle all the issues that are on the table now? You've got bigger fish to fry, Taoiseach. You've got bigger fish to fry. And you're focused on Yates? That man has had your back since day dot. And this is how you repay him. It was a tepid media response from the government. But they did what they had to do. Can't blame them. Their hands were handcuffed. They were in cuffs. They actually had a blindfold on. They were being smacked around the side of the head, blindsided by the news. It's crazy stuff. It's a crazy world we're living in. Remember the 4th of Beanvember. Any progress on getting me into the PhD in beanage from Griffith? Our girl Sally, yeah, look, I mean, it's Griffith. There's one language they do understand, and that's money. So, you know, we need to circle back to this when I've got a bit of time. I can maybe pencil something in towards the end of the week. I'm not sure when I'll be able to come back, but let me just deal with this shit at the moment. I'm spinning plates, you know. But I do hear it's a great PhD, doctor of coffee beans. You know, people are coming out. Barista is one of the most sought after jobs, you know, on the lower end of the scale. But if you've got a PhD in beanage, you can become a bean master. You know, you can be a barista king, or even run your own business. You know, you might even have ambitions to make it to the top in the boardroom as well. You might not even want to smell the beans. You know, you might want to just smell the sweet, sweet smell of success, surrounded by finance, sales, meetings, freshly hoovered and shaken vacuumed carpets, clean, crisp photocopying machines, toner, keyboards, the whole shebang. You know, but look, we'll come back to that and when I've got a bit of time on my hands. At the moment, I don't. It might look like I do, but I don't. I just thought I'd touch base with you vis-a-vis this and see whether or not you have anything that I could possibly use in my arsenal. There's another journalist, not going to name them, but he is thinking of putting pen to paper on a new piece later on. And I hear the Times are interested in running that. So, could have to pay them a little visit later myself as well. Have you tried an acai bowl? I haven't. I don't usually do that in the morning. It's too cold. I like something with a bit of heat and a bit of substance. So maybe a banana and berry porridge. If I'm feeling cheeky, I'll throw 3 teaspoons of drinking chocolate powder into that. Cadbury's. It's not the best, but it does the trick. And I have a chalky porridge, and then maybe a slice or 2 slices of French toast. And that's carb loaded and ready to rock. And, you know, you don't forget the bean either. It's bean or bust. Acai is basically ice cream, says Juvelite. That's great stuff, but, you know, look, let's just, you know, keep on point here. we can have our ice cream when we've finally got it to the end of the week and it's a little bit warmer, and not in just the climate sense, but in the heat has been taken off. We've got out of the frying pan. We're not in the fire, and it's just nice and mild enough to be able to have a bit of ice cream. But right now, far from ice cream. We can't. We're in our freezer inside. We're in the fucking depths of despair at the moment, and it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 9/11, Michael Moore, people walking out the cinema complaining about the anti-patriotic nature and saying we want money back and he should be gone, in no uncertain terms. And it's not about the patriotism about Yates in this situation. That's never been in dispute at all. He loves the country. He's been a great ambassador. He's a big guy. He's massive. Physically, mentally. He'll get through it. But he has to work hands off for the next week. So I left 2 more Fellini DVDs because he doesn't really download. He doesn't have any streaming services. I do all the briefing for. I'm just going to open the kimono on this one. I brief him on all the cultural goings on before he goes to press with whatever media venture he's doing. So, you know, look, I'll call back later. Might get a takeout from Zambrero. A couple of enchiladas, maybe a burrito, and nacho my way back down there. We might watch another Fellini and then strategize. It could be worse. It fucking could be worse. Oh God, it just, you know, for me anyway, this sort of stuff, it's water off a duck's back, you know. But he's not got the constitution of a duck. At this moment in time, he's a fish out of water. He's used to talking about the stories. He's not used to being the story. You know, I can still see a little bit of a glint in the eye, the fact that people were talking about him, that he was the story. It added a little bit of pep to his step, but it was almost instantaneously crushed with the realization that the negativity might have some sort of blowback when it comes to the crunch. But as I said to your man there, I was thinking about submitting to the Indo. Another piece about another nixer he did. I'm not going to say for who, but it was governmental. I said, listen, if you want to spill ink over that man, get ready for a fucking bloodbath. Because I can crush you in so many ways. Just ended the call with that. Didn't even need to say goodbye. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with that one as well. Morning there to Dave. The only thing that's really different in this particular scenario with Yateser is the price of the food. I mean, fortunately for him, he doesn't have to make any dinners today or anything like that. I'll be providing him with all the victuals he needs in his little bald hole. One in the chamber. Thank you very much there. And Sean Perrell. Yates needs to learn from my now fired au pair and learn to keep his yap shut. Thank you very much for the tip there. And to one in the chamber, Conzo, I'm penciled in for a tete-a-tete with Jack C in about 2 weeks. What should I say to him about this Yates fiasco? Keep it zipped for the moment. If it's in a few weeks, don't worry. I reckon the lay of the land is going to be extremely different. The landscape is going to be fucking wiped out by the end of the day. If I've any effect at all. That is to say, I will. There's going to be a new story on the table by end of play today. Switch on the hard shoulder. I think that's going to be a different case. I mean, obviously, Bauer want to stay hands off. Talk don't want to talk about it, but heard Philip Badger Hayes earlier yesterday on morning, and it was sort of a tone of, look, I love the Bouch. He's a great man, but Hayes by name, Hayes by nature. He doesn't shy away when somebody's rolling in the shit. His job is to flesh that shit out, present it to the general public. But there was an air of indignation and tone and in his voice when talking about it. I was like, do you not realise, Bouch, we're going to be meeting up in a few days, and possibly I might even have Ivan with me, and that's not going to play out well. But as they say, all's fair in love and war in this business, a lot of sharks. A lot of sharks. Queso time. Once we get the cheese on those nachos and a bit of enchilada, it's going to be nice. And just unfortunately, it's pissing down outside, and we can't just walk around and see some of the nice sights of the Harcourt Coffee Quadrant, which is coming on leaps and bounds. I just needed this little breakaway from the Malay to be able to get my head in good shape before heading on down to Bauer. But as I can see, as I walk around the HCQ, it's coming on leaps and bounds. 4 and 5 Park Place looks fully staffed. Underneath, down below, reception, full security, lights on. Lobby looks well lit, and the standpipe, the chrome standpipe is gleaming. We'll see how it goes, You can take some bit of comfort from that, to know that whatever happens, life does go on. Things keep moving, the wheels keep turning. You just have to adapt. You have to adapt and say, c'est la vie, this is the way it's gonna be. Let's change the game, and then start playing that game. Learn it, master it, dominate. And if a new contender hits the scene, crush. If they get one over on you, move away. Stop for a think, hide for a bit. Regroup. Reload. And then re-engage. And fight. Until you hear the bell. And that's the pep talk I was giving to Ivan there earlier on as well. It's getting a bit warm in here. Shouldn't have worn this snood combined with the turtle. There's a lot of heat. I saw the weather outside. I thought it was going to be cold. You can get Fionn and Sheehan on side with a jumbo salsa verde burrito, and you'll kill Yatesgate. Yeah, look. He knows his onions. He doesn't pull any punches. Wears his heart on his sleeve. He says what he says, he does what he does. We just need to practice a little bit of black magic, sprinkle a bit of dust on this story, make it go away. This story at the moment is a slug, and it's very, very liquid. It's got all the necessary nutrients it needs. But I've got a bag of salt. I'm not afraid to shake it.
Arizona.
Thanks very much, sir. Queso time. One in the chamber. Look, just best luck with that meeting in a couple of weeks' time. Jack's a good guy. Just mention myself and say that we're probably going to be meeting up, anon at some time in the not too distant. And, I'd say it's going to be in the bag. Be a beanbag. Caught a glimpse of Yates flitting about Ballsbridge in a red silk-lined cape on Halloween night. He's a towering and terrifying figure in the wrong light. Said he had desperate cravings for sugar and just had to get out the house. Scary stuff. It's a steamy one. It's a real steamer. Just make sure that it's not too fogged up. It's almost 7:30. Time to consider the Mitsubishi Outlander. Really excited for the upcoming MG electric and hybrid range as well. Recharge your soul. It's just on the rise, up, up, up. It's going to be like China where we're all driving EVs soon enough. Can't wait for it. A lot of these people want to pedestrianise the inner city around College Green and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really on board with it myself, but I mean, I think the tune will be changed once it's, above 90% electric going through. I think what we seriously need is something like an ultra low emission zone that they have in other cities across the continent at the moment, and start pulling in some revenue from that. But it's just, don't get me started on policy and, what things need to change, because it just it galled me to have to be talking about Yates, with the Taoiseach, when there's so much more on the table that is important that himself and the government need to deal with as well. Look, I don't get political. I never do, never have.
Goose cloud.
I'm all about the goose cloud. But I had to leverage the argument and say, look, how's this gonna fucking play out? Taoiseach, how do you think this is playing out with the base? They see you playing media games. Fuck the election. The presidential election, that is. That's in the past. It was a balls up. We all seen it. It was gone. People are going to remember Gavin. They're not going to remember Fianna Fáil. You need to focus. There's going to be another election in 4 years' time. Are you going to lead us into the election, Taoiseach? Because right now, you need something on the table. You need to slap a policy on the table. You need more than a policy. You need a result. And you're not going to get results playing fucking catty games like this with a guy as good as the Yateser, who's thinking of rescinding your invite, by the way, to the pop-up interracial spice box extreme, which is going to be a one-off affair on J-Ro's newly renovated Sky Base, I'm happy to say, which he's going to use to not only facilitate and operate that pop-up restaurant, but announce a brand new strategy for building around the Docklands, which eliminates any of the NIMBYism, which prevents him from doing his skyrise dream. He's going to start building literally in the sky above the docks. Physically impossible, but apparently he knows how to do it, and there's boffins working around the fucking clock working out how this is going to happen. It's going to take a lot of power and electricity. They're thinking of powering it through fossil fuel at the moment. I mean, the strategy and the blueprint looks good. Theoretically it can be done, but I mean, it's getting around the permission. There's going to be no zoning law because you're only going to have to deal with the sky, the sky is the limit, as they say. Your only problem would be, airspace. But I work very closely with the air authority, and a lot of the big wigs are going to be invited to that as well. Not the Taoiseach. I think once the government gets wind of what's going on in that realm, it's only a matter of time before they put the kibosh on it. It's an electric revolution, but I don't know how much electricity you're going to need to be able to put a platform in the sky which uses massive propeller turbines to just levitate in the air, and then you have a construction site on top of that. It's crazy stuff, but apparently he's had a word with Elon Musk as well, and SpaceX are interested in maybe providing the boosters for it, which will be indefinitely powered by wind. It's like the pyramids. You know, it's a very ambitious and auspicious project. But so were the pyramids, you know. Granted, they were using slave labor, and they didn't have to contend with any zoning laws or health and safety issues or anything like that. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it blows. If the wind power is going to be of any use at all. Space air. Big Red, thank you very, very much there. I hope you're having a wonderful and powerful morning. If you find yourself on the north side, I have a cafe in Fibsborough called Bang Bang. I can provide sanctuary and class coffee to lost Southsiders. Thanks very much, Big Red. Yeah, I might look into that. Might touch base, come round at some stage. Today, just at the moment, maybe I could be a bit limited on time. But definitely, thanks very much for the
Goose Cloud.
For the Goose Cloud. And big data going nuclear, thank you very much. Conzo, a couple of Dockland properties have come up that would be ideal for data centres. Water-cooled, solar or natural gas, depending on which way the political winds are blowing. Are you in? Yeah, look, I mean, I'm just focused on wiping my assets at the moment. Because I came a cropper with revenue regarding some of my... Look, I do declare all of my other properties that I use privately and commercially. That's no problem there as well, but there was an inspection on a couple of the ones that I've been leasing out, and they weren't happy with the amount of people I were putting into the space that was there, which, you know, for all intents and purposes was ridiculously small, let's just say that. But it wasn't ridiculously small for the last 10 or 15 years until they brought in these checks, and now it just seems like, God, get a grip, you know. The people that were living there, didn't hear a complaint out of them. They were just happy to have a place, you know. But it's gone mental now, it really has. Are you in? We'll be wiping our assets with Euro Silk once it closes. Look, I'll touch base with you again. Maybe we can meet up in Big Red's. Bang Bang. The goose is good for the gander, and the gander is good for the goose. But let's not kill the golden goose at the moment. The Yates-shaped goose will live to quack another day. I think so. It's not small, as I said to the building inspector, from, what do they call that? The tenancy board. They've no work to be doing, coming around and investigating my properties. As I said to them, it's not small, it's cozy. And the guys who were paying for that, they love it.
Feel the dream.
They love it.
Arizona.
Let's just split and just cleanse the mind with a little look at some of the developments that have been taking place and shape around the coffee quadrant. And let's just relax. There's no point in going into any high Powerball meetings when you're wound up and you've got an emotional state of mind, you know. As I said to Yates, Yates is... Look, nobody needs to tell him how to strategize and communicate. He knows it. And when you're led by emotions, that's when you don't get a result. Never answer the question that you were asked. Answer the question that you would have liked to have been asked. And never have a definitive answer straight away. Show empathy. Tell them you understand them, yeah? Tell them, I agree with your concerns vis-a-vis this, in relation to that. I can see that you want to do this. How can I help you come to that conclusion that you want? You know? Avoid the negativity, bury it, put it in a box, wrap it up, get it out again in the new year when you're flying. Right now, put it away. And then you have the interface. You have their attention. Eye contact. You're there to help. You're there to soothe. Okay, turn the heating on. Give them some slippers. Do you want some soup? How about a hot cup of cocoa?
Yeah. Here's my plan. I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. And then move on. All I'll say to you is what I said to Yates before I left. Weather out this storm, and we'll beat the cunts. We'll beat them. And then we're gonna be living on cloud number 9. Me, you, J-Ro, the Coopster. The Taoiseach, maybe. We're gonna be there. Fighting with all our might. With that, smiling coolly, I walked away and left him standing in the pissing rain in his silk kimono, clutching a bottle of Jameson. I should have brought him something like a green spot or a red breast, but I didn't know he was on the sauce.
Thank you. Crazy day to be alive. It doesn't stop. It never ends. But like the construction sites around the Hardcore Coffee Quadrant. Sorry there, sir. You know, as I said last year, 2025, not only the age of the Lewis, but the age of the crane. Feel the power of the tall crane. Glory to be in its majesty. We will build towers. We will build towers with the cranes in our heart. Just me and the blast unit and you. We're gonna blast away the shit from the walls that are closing in on us. Feel the power of the crane pipe. The dry risers want Core 3 closed down, John. But we are well able for them. We've never been more able. The denizens of 5 Park Place require your presence, and they've got something going on here. Let me see. Don't want to go in. It's an automatic door, keep clear. But there's some lovely artwork there as well, showing prospective denizens what they could be in line for should they take a lease out on one of the finely furnished offices up there. Oh. Beautiful stuff. Lewis is just coming around with an absolutely sensational black Uber livery. Right on it. Check out. It's Aer Lingus, it's Uber, it's Lewis. It's powerful. It's absolutely powerful, John. Feel the power of the new livery on the Lewis. See the world with Aer Lingus, John. And go places with Uber. Sensational stuff. And 5 Park Place is looking resplendent. Or should I say 4? Look at that lighting fixture there. Very, very artistic and sweet to see that. Shells dangling from the ceiling. Like beautifully illuminated dangleberries. We can only imagine. You know, once you take in a lighting fixture like that, then the situation we found ourselves in this morning doesn't really seem too bad at all. Which is why taking a little stroll before piling into the boardroom is actually well advised, I have to say. Uber train. Thanks very much, Snuffles. Good morning to you. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday scenario. Or that life is treating you well. And Kevin Beijing. Very, very kind of you as well. And just word coming through the pipeline there from... Who's this? J-Ro. How you cons? Just watching the stream. Please keep the sky-based construction proposal under wraps. Don't want anybody finding out about the possible nuclear-powered booster. I've said too much. I've said too much. But look, I want to actually just start to flesh out the nuts and bolts of nuclear-powered sky bases. I don't think it's a bad idea, and I think actually we need to embrace nuclear going forward, especially in the next fucking 20, 30 years when fossil fuels are, no longer going to be used. We're all electric. Where's that power going to come from? And there's going to be a lot of bleeding heart liberals saying, no, it's not happening, not on our watch. But eventually, the unending and unceasing cogs of capitalistic greed and progress will violently work them down into a nub. They won't be able to have any say in it whatsoever. And what with the increasing dependency on technological advancements and sophisticated service sectors, take away the toys from the boys and there'll be ructions, That's the way it's gone right now. So people are gonna not care. People just will not care about that, where their power comes from, just as long as they're getting their stuff and their phones are charged and their services are fully subscribed. I can see a beautiful future emanating from the pipe of progress. As much as the pipe which sticks out the side of a building pumps out steam, the government and the commercial sector are going to be pumping out cream. People are going to be getting absolutely snowed under. It's going to be beautiful stuff. Beautiful buildings, John. Arthur Cox. Might just go around here for a quick look. Usually under the cover of darkness is my preferred method of seeking and scouting the hardcore coffee quadrant. But I am interested in seeing how the new Locks development is going just up towards Charlemont. Maybe catching another Bagugu before there and being well and truly doubly caffeinated. And just see how it goes, Water of the coconut. Steamed cream makes the financial world go round. Thank you very much, Pace Jam. Very, very kind of you, buddy. Con, as it is the season of the pumpkin spice latte, have you any thoughts on the next breakout coffee flavour? You'd be the man to bring it to the market. Yeah, look, there's a lot of talk about pumpkin, we all know, but it's actually gone uncool now. It's been around for about 10 years, maybe longer. And once the autumnal leaves have gone and that colour is no longer with us on our streets or our roads, it's the days of the pumpkin are numbered. And it's going to be all about a new spice, a more substantial spice. A scarier spice, a festive spice for the season. Going on a bean quest on Monday morning. A vigorous rub with some tissue paper. This little fella, lovely, truly remarkable beast. I don't know, what's your take on it? Your prime time. you're gonna have to get the wallet out again. Maybe you should get the wallet out now, because every little helps between now and the big day, the 25th of December. And but getting back to whatever the spice is, I think it's the year of the cinnamon. And whatever about cinnamon, it's absolute cinema, as they're saying now, in terms of spices, because it gives you that little snap. There's something about it. It's got a nice kind of colour as well, which kind of blends well with the festive season. And having some sort of cinnamon-based seasonal beverage would definitely go down well. Now, usually, I'm surprised at how bright it is. It's 10 to 8. It's just gone 10 to 8, and I think last year it was still dark around this time. But I like to just usually, between cups, go down behind the back of the iron here on Hatch Place and get a whiff of Feel the Dream. Arizona Seagulls. The big cheeses, it's not great. Yapstam, the likes of which I am Marby. You and I will probably dream about. Choo choo magoo. There's a lot of tension in the streets. It's almost 6. Indonesian beans. 5 days of sheer graft, power, and absolute Hasselback potatoes. An Arabian dream stealer comes out of a side hatch. Enjoy your day. There's a lovely spider web up there. Not much to do when you're waiting for the coffee shop to open. I think I've done things at the moment. I don't know what he was doing there, what he thought was going to be. 4 and 5 Park Place. Oh look, the furnishing in 4 and 5 Park Place. They've started furnishing it. Wayflyer, Azimuth, Dropbox. And look at that Dropbox, have their own barista machine there. L. Siegel. How do you do, sir? We'll move over here. We'll move this way and let you swoop down. Back to the bin. Hopefully we get a glimpse of him swooping down to the bin. Because I think I saw grains of rice on that bin. Go on. You know you want it. Get your beak in. Times. I'd love to know what your take on it is. What's your take on it? Is it all that? Bezos! Or do we need to change the game even further? You've made it as far as you can. Now it's time to go above and beyond the call of duty. Bezos! Never leave revenue on the table. No need to get your feet out. Peruvian beans! What's your take on it? Let's go further. Build smarter. Business, 3rd floor business, 4th floor business. Congolese beans.
The other Greek's doing not too bad. Kokonakis.
Kokonakis. Fantastic stuff. Feel the power of the seagull. Feel the power of the seagull. Make your way to the bin. Find the grain of rice. And move at will. You know you want to. You know you want to. And you can. That's the beauty of it, Mr. Siegel. That bin is yours. Go for it. We're all waiting to see you do it. We know you want to be there. Go on. Swoop down. We just cleaned the lens there. Sorry if it's a bit foggy. We lost a bit of coverage there as well down the back arse of the alley. Bear with me here. Bear with me, guys. Sorry about the lack of coverage there. Please just stand proud, guys, while we resume coverage of the Seagull. You've driven all you can drive. He's not gonna move. He's not gonna move. He's limbering up.
He's limbering up. Go on. Give it socks.
Mr. and Mrs. Pacework, thank you very much. Apologies, guys. There, I'm just watching a seagull.
Because I want him to swoop down. We want to capture that moment, you know, but he's very wary. Now he's moving over. The wings are spread. Spread your wings and fly, Sam. Spread your wings and fly. Go on. Do it. We're waiting on you. We want you to. You know there's grains of rice down there on that fucking textbook. There's a journal and a faux leather handbag down there. Go on. Get involved. It's yours. It's yours. You gonna let someone else have a go at your lunch? No? He's looking at us.
Mr. and Mrs. Pacework, thank you very, very much for your tip. And Climothy Shalmal. Conzo, really looking forward to your upcoming appearance on the Diary of a CEO podcast. How'd you know about that? Keep that one between you and me. And the seagull's gone. Missed him. Fucking missed him. He actually flew away. He didn't even go back to the bin. And the key there as well. Someone needs to get on that stat. Unknown key. Down Hatch Place. Put the word out, guys. An unknown key. Maybe left there for someone. Maybe not. Strange place to leave a key. And, yeah, as I said, I usually come down here under the cover of darkness, which gives more oomph to these windows, which I've remarked on time and time again. The Churchesian windows of Hatch Place. Thank you very much, Climothy Shamal, and everybody there who's tipped. You've made it as far as you can. Now it's time to go above and beyond the call of duty. Bezos! Never leave revenue on the table. No need to get your feet out. Peruvian beans! What's your take on it? Go further, build smarter. Business, third floor business, fourth floor business. Congolese beans.
The other Greeks doing not too bad. Kokonakis.
Kokonakis. Fantastic stuff. Will you shape the future? Or will you be shaped by the future? We're living in a great age. The age of the Lewis and the age of the crane. Feel the power of the crane. And there we go. He's swinging. He's moving. This is Sparta. It's not. It's legible, but it makes zero sense. I think maybe they got scared and forgot to structure sentences and whatnot. Sorry, the stream is just after cutting out there, but what we can see here is illegible graffiti and absolutely confusing in its sentiment as well. Rebel Against Extinction, we know that one. It's there last year. Atlas is coming, and boomers go home, cafes close, dogs sad because not cat. What make of that what you will, but I can't even begin to parse any sort of semblance of a meaning from it. As another seagull lands down hatch. It belongs to the seagulls, that laneway at the moment. It belongs to the seagulls. Ominous stuff. L-I-I-I, some Drake Steel 899 says, I don't know what that means. But tell you what, there's a real lovely spot here called Cafe Sol. It's always been here as far as I can remember. Taken down Francesco Higinardo, Honduran beans. The fact that every moment there's a chance to double your money. Bezos! How's it going, buddy?
How are you keeping?
Checking out Fibonacci Place. Have you been in there?
Never.
Bezos.
I think he is.
Is he there?
He is.
Bezos. Good stuff, buddy.
He's listening to News Talk.
Today FM. You take the bull by the horns and you ride that bastard out of town. You've Lesotho'd all you can embassy. I am livid. Targets. Funkmaster Flex. Bar charts. Falco, Crawl, Lockton. A lot of the hardball gets played inside there. More of a bricks and mortar kind of Lego set man myself. Apologies, lads. I don't know what's going on with the bit rate, but there was a bit of cutting out. Sorry, thanks very much. Sorry about that. You can hear the seagulls having their say as well. The shriek of the seagull. Lovely smell of laundry there outside that house. Just got a text from the Yates there. We're living in the age of the seagull, Connor. Any update on my future? Well, sorry, don't worry, I'm just... We've got Guatemalan boys out there. You snooze, you lose. Courtesy of sombrero. Thai beans. It's all about the scone. Stripped to the waist and whipped 5 times. I'd love to know what your take on it is. What's your take on it? Is it all that? Bezos! Or do we need to change the game even further? You've made it as far as you can. Now it's time to go above and beyond the call of duty. Bezos! Never leave revenue on the table. No need to get your feet out. Peruvian beans! What's your take on it? Let's go further, build smarter. Business, 3rd floor business, 4th floor. Splat, but they blurred out his face. Let's go and see what's going on inside the rock room at the drop. Head honcho on congos, got the receptionist on the maracas, head developers on the acoustic. Just gone to waste. Get a nice little blasted out, we'll be back in business again. Another powerful Monday. Welcome to the street. Office barista unit. Salesforce. Packing the poachers. Going on a bean quest on Monday morning. A vigorous rub with tissue paper. This little fella, lovely, truly remarkable bean. But around this particular part of Adelaide Road, it does usually dip in and out, so might have to switch. Living Labina Mocha, the future. The concept of steam. Brand new roller coaster ride. Time is running out, the clock is ticking down. Francesco Higanardo, Honduran bean. Bezos. Good stuff, buddy. Today FM. You take the bull by the horns and you ride that bastard out of town. You've Lesotho'd all you can embassy. I am livid. Targets. Funkmaster Flex. Bar charts. Falco, Crawl, Lockton. A lot of the hardball gets played inside there. More of a bricks and mortar kind of Lego set man myself. It's all about the Chinese market at the moment. How's it going, guys? I'm your boss. That's French jiggery pokery. Getting a bit tiresome, I understand. Salvadoran bean. Gold embossed. Hope you're getting on well anyway. Abducted by seagulls. The big cheeses, it's not great. Yapstam. The likes of which I am RB. Apologies there, guys. We're in a densely operated area where there's a lot of interference, data and Wi-Fi signal. might be interfering with the stream, although we do have some information coming through the pipeline there from Narubo-san, thank you very much, and Niall, that the Oireachtas could be throttling the stream as we speak, just based on some of the little nuggets I've let slip, but we won't let that ruin our day, and the rain has subsided. We've got Guatemalan boys out there. You snooze, you lose. Courtesy of sombrero. Pie beans. It's all about the scone. Stripped to the waist and whipped 5 times. I'd love to know what your take on it is. What's your take on it? Is it all that? Bezos. Feel the thrill of the bollocking, you know. Harness the power of the bollocking. And make the best of it. Make the best of a good bollocking. It's always the way. It always has been. And always will be as well. We know it. We've all been there. And the leaves on the ground tell a beautiful story. The story of autumn, which has come to an end. We'll soon be in the grips of winter. Keeps on cutting out, John. I don't know. This is. I think what we need to do is switch to a 3 SIM card rather than a GOMO. But it's neither here nor there. Nobody's concerned with the technical aspects of trying to get this communique out. You just need the information. I understand that, and I want to wholeheartedly empathize and sympathize with the viewer. And thank you for your persistence and continued support and staying with us through this very turbulent and interfering moment that we're having. And it just goes to show, when you put yourself out there and you say the things that I'm saying, I think, you know, there's a lot of people working behind the shadows, ghosts in the machine, smoke and mirrors, pulling strings, making calls. Any chance you could get this pulled down? Someone's saying something here. Throw a fucking spanner in the works, will ya? He's letting too much slip, but I'm not gonna fucking back down or yield in the face of such adversity. Never have, never will. You gotta keep going, keep powering through. My word is my bond. Pay-as-you-go driving. It's a virtual all hands. Virtual all hands was necessary today. Thanks for the dialogue. AI Vespers. Well, at least it's not an AI situation. Fucking sick to the back teeth of hearing about it. Although it does promote and provide us with a big potential future honeypot of revenue sooner or later. You know, if you cut out the labour market, that's a lot of your fucking money that's going to be saved. So, you know, maybe it's not just such a bad thing. All we need to do is just sell it. Sell it in a nice package, stick a bow on it, a few extras, and fucking get them to buy it, you know, get people to buy into it, because at the moment there's a lot of bad press about it. A lot of people saying, look, it's soulless, it's heartless, nobody likes it, nobody wants it, but they just haven't had it yet, you know. They've only seen scraps of what it could be, but they haven't had the beautiful service and the cut price service as well. So as long as you can save the consumer a bit of money in their pocket, then they'll take it. Right now it's just very early adoption, early days, early doors. But it's gonna come hard. It's gonna really power through 2026. You thought we hadn't heard the end of it this year. Wait until we get to next year. Thanks very much, Sir Niall. Careful now, Conzo. Matt Cooper has a vendetta against anyone who's associated with Yateser. Well, if you were here for earlier on, I've told you about the nuts and bolts. Cooper is livid. Won't answer the phone to Ivan. So I'm basically a go-between at the moment, trying to work my magic and also be the olive branch between two stunningly powerful media-based spruce in both Coops and Yates. Machines. Media machines. Titans of the game. Great men. Great attitudes. Great opinions. Fantastic styles. Perfect broadcasting tenacity and nous, combined with a great common touch as well. Everymen able to mix it up with the big boys in the boardroom or the lads down the pub at the end of the bar. Spinning yarns, telling tales, having the pint, getting the job done, providing results in the morning, and walking out in the evening with even more results inside a bag. Waterproof, then onto an electric bike, setting a good example, and riding back to the Muse with a bottle in the bag and a Fellini DVD on tick. Nothing like it. And will we ever see anything like these? I mean, we need to appreciate what we've got. I don't think we're never gonna live in an age. What's this? The Red Bean Roastery. Looks nice. Looks very nice. He's a sensitive man. I just hope Noel Kelly is holding up okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever about this, it will make for an interesting Tuberty podcast if he can get Coops or Yates on and discuss what's going on here with this. Then I'd be well inclined to give that a watch, you know. Absolute scenes down here on Harcourt Street as we move towards a brand new development and scenes of a flagrant cigarillo. Carrillo. Somebody had a great time with that one. We need to go back to black and white. Somebody says, Psyche, how are you getting on? Maybe we can. Let's see what we've got in the box here. Maybe we can. Maybe we can, John. Stand proud for a moment while I work out how to go Fellini on it. You had Psyche there in the chat saying we're back to black and white, and it's just gave, you know, an idea has just sprung out the woodwork there. Anything is possible. We've gone in a brand new aspect ratio. We're going Fellini on it, John. Courtesy CYK asked, and here we are. Look at the seagull in a Fellini aspect. Absolutely beautiful seagull work. Landing on top of that building on the side. This one's for Psyche there. This one's for Psyche. I wanted to capture the mood that we're in at the moment. With the whole shebang that's going on with Dr. Yatesenstein. Doesn't look good. But we've had our bad patches. We've worked our way through it. And now we're going to power through whatever they're going to throw at us for the rest of the day. Let's find our way through the town of discontent. Our moment is now. Our now is this moment. Nearly slipped off the curb there. We need a bit of Fellini-esque music as well. What about a Fellini standpipe special?
Can you hear it? Can you hear it, John? Can you hear the power of the Fellini-esque pipe? Don't worry, Ivan. I've got your back. I'll always have your back. Tomorrow will be our time to shine. Everything, and I mean everything, will be all right. You've driven all you can drive. What's this? A brand new area for us. And I gotta say, I own 3 or 4 apartments here, all leased out to tech entrepreneurs. I have no shame in saying it. I've no shame in saying it. They're not gonna fall foul of any tenancy inspection or anything like that. These are all new stuff. These are all new stuff for the big boys. But I do have a few old Georgian pieces which haven't seen a lick of renovation since 1986. And you can fit in a load of people in those. Well, you used to, as I said. Not anymore. The tenancy board are coming down on me like a ton of bricks. They're wanting answers to questions, and questions I don't have the answers to. But as I said, we'll keep it lit and we'll make sure that we have our arses wiped come the next door audit. The next door audit. There's actually a fucking auditor next door in the building where I'm working at the moment. And there's a guy in there, he's sound. I won't mention who they are or what the name of their business is, but they were giving me some very, very good advice on how to beat the bastards at their own game, you know? They're a private equity, private enterprise. But they're telling me how to deal with the government-backed boys. And look, it's looking like 2026 could yet again be another year of the con. And once we're sailing and we're plain sailing, let's go for a bit of Sigmund golf. Sigmund Freud. How's about that? €3,000 per calendar month, is it? Asked for a Q. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, actually the max one is 3,000, but there's a couple of ones. 1 bedroom for 2,500, and there's a 2 bedroom for 2,800, and again another 2 bedroom, but it's a mezzanine balcony with a grill, a Weber grill installed outside for 3,250, and it's got a great view of the canal as well. I'll show you it. When you get to the top, you can see the dome of the church in Rathmines and the canal just underneath it. Let me just show you where it's based as we walk down or up towards the canal, should I say. It's ensuite. Every room is ensuite. Walk-in wardrobe, ensuite bathroom, plush carpets, fantastic furniture, beautifully hung decor and paintings, and just nobody should be afraid of living in such luxury. I think the problem is a lot of people are afraid to live like a king, and that's the problem. But there are a few people who know how to live right, and you just gotta take advantage of them and fucking rinse them for everything you can. La Dolce Vita. Look, these absolutely sensational willow trees just on the banks of the canal here. It's rinsed or be rinsed. It's rinse or be rinsed, should I say. Thanks very much, they're D7 for the tip. Rise and grind, baby. Gotta love it. A big push on a cold day. It's actually quite mild, to be honest, but I'm wearing a lot of layers. There's nothing like it. Merry trading, cons. Open up the apps. You want a 3 monitor on your desk setup. A decent enough processor. Coffee on tap.
Get the AeroPress going if you're not into the fucking whole bean machine extreme setup. And get grinding, get rising, and make those quarterlies count, because it'll be over before you know it. Yates and a half, thank you very much. Ivan Mastroianni. Sorry, I don't know who stars in Fellini's classic noir. Cinema verite exploration of the alleyways of the Irish capital. Faced with his own shortcomings, this looming anti-hero's miscomprehension fuels this gripping saga. A masterpiece. Look at that. Let's go Fellini on this. How's it going, buddy? The neck on you. There's nothing like it. Feel the power of the Swan on the Tuesday bank of the canal. An absolutely beautiful situation. A creamer, a streamer, a dreamer. Fantastic work. We'll move away from the high footfall and get ourselves over to a lessly crowded pavement. And what am I thinking in regards to bean machine? Maybe a blast down to Bear. Is it a bit away though? Blast down to Bear, or is there a fucking better place nearby? I'm not sure. Sorry, the cogs are just turning at the moment to give me a moment to work out where I'm going, what I'm doing. Not just on the stream, but in life. You think you know it, one day the situation gets turned on its head and it changes. Let's just have a quick look here at this willow tree. We go beside the willow. Look at this little fella down here. The Swan gave us a squawk to wish us well on our day. As we reach, what time is it now? Don't even know what time it is. For some reason, the time on my phone isn't showing. It's 8:25. Still a lot of people ready to get to the gristle mill. It's too artistic to see him. Yeah, he's gone. He was only a small little fella. But the willow tree is nice. We might actually have to go back to full colour and full resolution here, or different aspect ratio, because from what I can see is we've cropped a lot of the screen off, but it's still nice though. Still very nice to see. Do you think the Swan is picking up some shopping? I'm not sure. Maybe he's going to the Swan Centre. It's not too far away. It's save your horn for another day. I'm wondering whether or not you can see the dome. It's a perfect dome over there on the Church of Rathmines. It's absolutely fantastic. In black and white as well. It looks so classy indeed. And we can just get one more look at the Swan here before we head off to another bean unit to get finally and fully caffeinated for the day ahead. Here he is. Ron Swanson. How much rent does that swan pay? You'd love to know. You'd love to know. I think we'll just call it, we'll call it and go to the Art of Coffee. Do love their cups. The gold embossed logo just fills you with a sense of ornate golden pleasure, which, you know, sets you on your way for the rest of the day. And I'm thinking, for the next time I'm out and about, I think I'm going to make the switch to 3. Gomo just has been letting me down too much, especially when you get to that Adelaide Leeson Cross, which is so important to me, has a special place in my heart. It's the location, of course, for the Miles Dungeon. So, you know, a place where I'm frequently to be found, of morning, noon or night, and to be having to face interference regarding data is just a real kick in the teeth, a punch to the gut, a hammer blow to the brain. And once I get it sorted and I have all my eggs lined up in one basket, I think we're going to be sailing on the good ship Lollipop. Hell, you'd want to watch where he's going with that.
Feel the dream.
That was a loud one.
Arizona.
We're gonna go after their bottom line, and then we're gonna liquidate them. Take them for everything they've got, and then some. Once your enemy is down, you need to make sure you get them to relinquish their assets and perform a requisition of their soul. Harness the power, their business acumen that they've now lost, and gather it like manna from the heaven. Take that into the boardroom with you. I know there's a few people who may be wondering. Thank you very much for the tip though, Guatemalan Bean Boost and Harry Spain. Thank you very much. I know there's a lot of people wondering, Connor, you're on here giving it the big bamboozler with an aspect ratio and a colour grade, trying to mimic or ape Fellini. But what say you, sir, of the rock box at the drop? And I have to say, I am absolutely dying to get a look at it. But it's something about the light that just doesn't make it pop at the moment. So I think the rock room at the drop, although I am on tenterhooks to see how that has developed, have they any new instruments? Will we catch a glimpse of a highfalutin CEO giving out a drum beat to a group of unenthusiastic staff members whilst he tries to deliver a keynote? We've never seen it. We could potentially see one of them if we go there at the right time. But as I say, the witching hour, the cover of darkness, really makes that room pop in such a way that would just be a real damp squib if we got there now. No offence to squibs, damp or otherwise. We do know that 4 and 5 Park Place, of course, is the home of the dry riser, so whatever about your squib preference, get on down to McGarrow Riley. They'll sort you out 24/7. A lot of diligent workers going on there with their double monitor setups, grinding away. It's nearly 9 o'clock, guys. It's just gone 8:30 Yates. It's just gone 8:30 Yates. My mother was a squib, says Evan. Thanks very much for joining us. Kurosawa or Tarkovsky? Neither. We're going Fellini on this. Let's get on down to AOC and get something going on. It's just gone 8:30 Yates, and we're going for a deep dive into the hardcore coffee quadrant. Gonna leave a few stones unturned until the next session. But why scrub when you can steam? Do you know what I mean? That's what it's always been about. Don't do the job half-assed. Just get in there, hop in, hop out, and make sure it's done through any means necessary. And don't fucking overload yourself either, you know? You can get caught up in the maelstrom of the moment. People wanting every bit of you. Spreading yourself thinly when you need just one slice of doorstep sliced pan to spread your paste on. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. There's a lot of sharks out there. And also remember, it's not far away. The whole AI replacement situation is going to be just around the corner, so have your wits about you, keep your options open. Don't reveal your hand to those closest. Make sure your enemies are in your fold as well. You'll learn a lot from your enemies. That much is true. And keep on moving to the top if possible. If not, find a little crevice, get your bivouac sack out, kip for the night, and then plan for the next day where the climb continues. It's like trying to take on the Eiger solo. You're not going to eat an elephant with one bite. Multiple chunks necessary, and you're going to have a night's kip on the way up to the top as well. Just make sure your crampons are well and truly secured, and you've got a little sausage and a cooker in order to maybe just some smoked meats. Don't bother with the extra weight of the gas cooker if you're climbing the Eiger. It didn't really I didn't have any use for it. I just fuck it off the side of the mountain. AI coffee baristas, and look at that, a packed out Lewis for the day that's in it. I've got a massive queue here. I'm gonna have to go quiet for a moment. Jack into the full caffeine connection of your second shunt of the day. Then breeze through the morning's meetings brimming with charisma and confidence. The deals lay strewn in your train. Come lunch, glance over at your shoulder at your accomplishments. Wise words there from Guatemalan Bean Boost. Thank you very much. And Harry, who says that I entered into an endorsement symbiosis with Remus Uomo in Q4 2024 after an initial click pump. The metrics on my Run Club socials are in the toilet. Any guidance? Yeah, find the time to go for a jog around the park or anything, or even just get one of those walking mats underneath your fucking desk and do a standing desk extreme bomb.
Americano.
Hi, how's it going? Can I have an Americano to go, please?
Americano to go?
Yes, thank you.
Anything else for you?
That's all, thank you very much. Thank you. Fucking roasting here. Need to step outside while I wait for the cough. Holy shit. Deceptively cold looking day, but once you're outside, I actually wrapped up just because of the rain, John. But I'm sweating bullets at the moment. The moment we can get outside with the coffee and maybe have a little look down Bell Lane, but I want to avert my eyes away from the maelstrom of the rock box at the drop and save that for a brighter day. I'm excited. I'm excited to hit Bauer. Once I'll get one more cup into me, straight down to Bauer and give them both barrels. Open the door, please. Oh, you have to press. Okay, thank you.
Americano.
Thank you.
Thank you.
onwards we go. Feel the power of the Lewis. And that's a hot sup. It burns the tongue to taste, so we need to let that cool down. And then we go strong. Little burp there, hopefully it didn't register. But we're gonna go strong on this one. Sorry. A Google user, thank you very much for the tip there. I hope you're getting on well. And loving the Lindt endorsement they have on their cup. But I'm a little bit upset that the Art of Coffee have lost their signature gold embossed coffee cup logo, which really put the wind in my sails, because it just felt like you were drinking from a cup of class. You know, it set them aside from the rest. It set them aside from all the other contenders. You know you're not going to get that down Pret. And what can I say? I'm only hoping that they're going to bring that back for Christmas, possibly. But you can't fault their beans. You cannot fault their beans, because you know what that means. I gotta say, it's just the Garda HQ here is just really taking shape. It's doing that kind of brutalist chic at the front with glass and block. Maybe trying to keep some of the Georgian sentimentality with the shape of what would you say, the rectangular shape of those window slots. Maybe a little trying to copy the ESB building down there, but it looks very how would I say, MI6ish, and I suppose that's what they're going for. That's where the detectives are. That's where the big boys are going to be investigating the big crimes. And I suppose what they want is a building which reflects that sort of brutal tenacity necessary in order to rigorously pursue and bring to justice some of the scum out in society, you know? Murderers, thieves, pushers, the whole shebang. I don't want to get too dark on it, you know? But that is what's going on. That's what's going to be going on there. And then across from there, obviously, we've remarked on it before. Lovely cladding outside that building there. I don't know what goes on there, if it's a hotel or something. I think there's a little hotel above the Coffee Angel. The Coffee Angel is not inside. It's big enough. It's great. They do great service, lovely staff, great coffee. But I've just found a few other places that are a bit nicer, more salubrious to sit down and drink your beverage on. I spilled a bit of coffee there.
Feel the cream. Arizona.
Thanks very much there to Chaz, who says, Connor, you should jump on the green line to Sandyford for some bean. You've got Bear Market, Coffee Shot, Killian's Coffee, Fallow, China Sichuan Go, Brother Bean, Cafe Sol, all within 5-minute walk of the Lewis stop. Do you know what? That doesn't sound like such a bad idea, Chaz, man. That doesn't sound like such a bad idea at all. Maybe we could lock horns, so to speak. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I do all the strategy, communications and presentation for the Francis Higgins YouTube channel. He sometimes allows me to have my own little stream time like this, which I call bean time. But, what say you? Are you a man of the bean yourself, or are you all talk? I gotta say, what you're proposing sounds very, very liquid. And I could definitely get down with all that within a 5-minute radius. I also had an offer there from Big Red. Says he's got something going. He's got a little bit of a scene going on in Phibsborough. So yeah, I'm open. I'm open to suggestion. But today, Chaz, thanks for the tip, by the way. It's gonna be a wind down time just here and get back to the office, which is gonna start kicking off in the next few moments. I have to actually visit someone else's office and lay down an absolute almighty bollocking, the likes of which has never been seen. Story after story about the Yates Meister General need to be spiked, and I'm the man to do it. Utilising the weapons I have in my arsenal, which is a varying array of frightening threats and spiteful comments and words. If they want to dig up the dirt, I need to let them know that I have a truck full of shit waiting outside. A couple of lads with fucking trolleys and pallet trucks about to start unloading. All they need to do is push the hush button on their creepy little stories about my good friend Yates, and we'll leave it be. Say no more, say la vie. You scratch my arse, scratch yours, or back, whichever one, but I won't be going near it with my hands. I'll wear gloves and probably just use a scratching stick, to be honest. No probably about it. I don't want to be getting weird about it, you know? But it's one of those situations. It's a real Fellini aspect ratio scenario. And unfortunately, the colour grade will not bring out the bloom, the blossom of the autumnal leaves. So we're going to switch up and make it a day to remember. Take a leaf out of the book of Genesis and go for it. Just find a place to put down my Art of Coffee cup and we'll go for it. But yeah, possible sojourn out to Sandyford, maybe on the Never, maybe next time. Phibsborough could be a situation as well. I'm gonna have to link up with you, Big Red, if you're still watching in some shape or form. We'll discuss it, run it through. I don't want to be going in there like a fucking bull in a china shop, bringing my fucking shit in, you know, and just going, oh, here we go, and I'm doing my coffee thing, everybody, you know, putting them off theirs. It needs to be safe, it needs to be secure. And what we'll do is we'll hopefully touch base, we'll circle back to your proposal, and we'll come to some conclusion reasonably by the end of play today. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the end of the next day. But thank you very much anyway. I hope you're doing well. Get ready for a colour burst. Boom. Boom. Pew. Absolutely sensational colour here in the ivy. The perfect little slice of serenity in amidst the grinding turbine of Ireland's engine room. The money, you can smell it. You come here just for a little breakaway. Smell the flowers. Still lovely, lush looking foliage, the last of which we're going to see soon. This will be disappeared, making way for the bare stalks of winter. Do you know? And in a few weeks' time, we won't even have the power of light, the glory of light, to be able to witness the beautiful burst of colour on that tree over there, or those leaves there, or that flower petal there. What we will have is a hope, a song, a dream, a bean. We'll live to fight another day, and work for another packet of pay. Send a little home to the wife. You kiss the beans. And you have the bad dreams. That's living alright. Use candlelight, maybe a walk around Dublin with candlelight. Might be something to pick up on in the not too dist. Just see there and make sure I haven't missed anyone in the little boxing. Thank you very much, lads. No, great stuff. Thanks for the words of wisdom. Dark days for dodgy deals. Drink it in while you can. Embrace it while you can. It won't be here for long. The usual stuff. Enjoy your time in the mountains. Oh, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. You wouldn't think it, but there's going to be an absolute bollock storm going on in a boardroom down. I have to head into town, actually. I think they're just behind Stephen's Green. That's where it's going to go down. I'll keep you updated on the next edition, but you can bet your bottom dollar this story is a battleship that's just been sank. Belgrano. Fucking Titanic. It's not a battleship, but it got sank. I'm gonna steam into the boardroom like an iceberg of solitude. The Bauer ship, going full steam ahead on their little stories, their tattletales. We're gonna be too busy looking at their story list to realise they're fucking ploughing into an iceberg right ahead. The art of coffee, the dream of the bean, the twist of fate, the steam on the cup. Doesn't get much better than this. Yamamoto sends his regards. There was great news earlier on about your man meeting Tapi Iwase, who I thought was dead. Thank God he's alive. Love that little guy. And he's a crazy dreamer from the Konami music group. Did a lot of music back in the day for stuff. But hopefully maybe Francis can delve into that lore at a later date. I don't really have time for it, or I don't even care about it myself. What's your thoughts on the beans today? Fantastic, Flynn. Absolutely fantastic. Feeling supercharged, positively charged, ionic. And you gotta say, I mean, Starbucks, they do it. They do what they do, and they do it with pride. Maybe not as much pride as some of the artisanal ventures, but you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. And it was the only place open at that time. If they're going to open their doors at stupid o'clock, then I'm going to frequent the business. That's the way it is. They just know that not to leave money on the table. Business never sleeps, and unfortunately a lot of the other premises, you'd think with the exorbitant rent rates they're paying for some of the places that they're leasing out, they'd be open from 6, especially around here, you know. The grind starts early. Some people don't even leave the office. Beds under the desk. You know, but I'm just looking up to the top slot there of that gaff. There's a suited and booted Jessup with a briefcase wandering around the empty boardroom, waiting like a shark to make some cuts. Maybe hire, fire, perspire. The whole 9 yards. Fills you with a sense of pride. And longing as well. Don't forget the longing. Longing for a place that I don't belong at the moment. Really big cusps, or cups of beans in that establishment, says Zacchaeus. You might be onto something. I think we're sitting on the cusp of a bean revolution, to be honest. But you know, the way prices are rising across the board for everything, the bean stays where it has been, pardon the pun, for the last couple of years. That's because it was too much to begin with, you know. But the economy just isn't the same as that of Spain or Italy, where you can get a really decent cup. Great espresso for pittance.
Arizona.
Look, we're paying through the nose here. We always have been. But there are a few places that are doing a real good cup of Joe. And for that, I'm absolutely enamoured and in worship of. 24-hour bean man. He only sleeps from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. Most 90s video game music is ripped off from either Cassiopeia or 90s house. I'll second that anyway. Gotta love those Cassiopeia job boys. And who are the other lads? There's another outfit. Not Cassiopeia, there's another outfit. T-Square. If you've got time, check out the works of T-Square. Pure voodoo Japanomics, and of course Cassiopeia, fantastic outfit. J-Jazz, superb bass lines all the way. They really, really know how to bass. And the drumming as well. And check out some of the live performances maybe on YouTube. Tight as a duck's arse. Do you know, gotta hand it to them. They really know how to lay down the law. Bassmaster fresh. Got into the office this morning, ready to face the day, and we are sans been. What is a man to do? Says Donnelly, or Donnelliffy. I'm not sure, Don. Doesn't sound like a great situation, to be honest. If you've got yourself a water pump, cooler, or a heater or something like that, you just have to bust out the tea bags. Make do with old school stuff, you know? It's not all about the bean. Gotta separate the bag from the bean from time to time. Go Chinese on it. It's not as intense. You can probably drink more of it. It's a smoother buzz. But sometimes you just want the caffeine bean to really get you jumping. Which then gets you hopping. A buzz bomb, some might call it. Maybe even a little bit of Nigel Quaggi or Lint Excellence, just to give yourself the boost you need as well. Thank you very much, Ross Kemp, who has tipped with a message saying, in 1966, Heinz Hankhammer changed the paradigm of global bean infusion with the inception of the Brita filter brand. He should be an inspiration to us all in these dark, dark times. If you're not filtering your coffee, you may as well drink piss. Thank you. And CD-ROM, thank you very much, buddy. I hope you're having a wonderful, powerful, tenacious Tuesday. You're ready to get deep down and dirty inside the engine room, the factory floor. The potential to come away with the bottom line at the end of the day that says, yes, we're back in black. Bust out the champers. We're going for a couple of glasses. Nothing wrong with a little midweek scoopy whoopy. Just to put the demons at the door away. Lock it up, batten down the hatches. Open the letterbox and tell them to fuck off. Sling your hook. We'll see you at the weekend. Right now, this is our time, and we're shining. We're shining true. Like an absolutely beautifully cut blood diamond. Gleaming, glistening in the winter sun, which might make an appearance. I know it's grey skies at the moment, but I can see a small smatter of blue smudged over in that dank, dark grey palette we're looking at right here. You only just have to put your head through the clouds and then you're seeing blue skies. That's the problem. That's the problem. Some of us don't ever reach up to those heights to be able to do that. Some do. They tell a tale. They tell a story, but no one will really appreciate it until they've been there. Done that. Bought the t-shirt. The Wizard of Konzo, thank you very much. CD-ROM asks, I have a ski trip in the new year with the Swiss Alps. Any recommendations for yourself? Yeah. Matterhorn, Eiger, Eye of the Liger, the Rassenhorn, the Quadrahorn. Whatever takes your fancy. I'll be there for Davos in the new year if you want to link up. Let me know when you're there and we can maybe go for an après ski or something like that. And the Wizard of Konzo, thank you very much. Dorothy awoke in Dublin, surrounded by her friends and family. It had all been a caffeine-fueled monochrome dream, but she couldn't forget that yellow brick road, the business prospects that lay at its end, and the spectre of the wicked witch of the Yates. Stand proud. Breathe it in. Today is our day, and tomorrow is who knows. Great words, and it's actually fucking very inspiring for me to be able to put those words and channel them into a sort of theatric concept piece inside the IVG. And thank you very much. That's all I can say. Keynote worthy. Goose clouds. Look at that. Percy pigeon. Beautiful plumage. Nothing for you, lads. Nothing for you. Love the look. Love the style. Love your work, buddy. Keep it up. We're all waiting on the next installment of Pigeon Pieces. Tales from the city streets. A mean-looking, green-necked mother pigeon with a beautiful grey wing, plumage, sumptuous little tasty pointy beak, and a couple of beady little brown eyes. They just say, yeah, I'm here, I'm doing what I do, and that's that. A powerhouse. Feel the power of the pigeon, John. Narubu-san, thank you very much. How was Japan, cons? I preferred the laid-back vibes of Kyoto myself. Laid back, but in what sense, you know? I love the place. Temples to beat the band. And the Japanese are an absolute masterclass in hospitality. But I could sense they were getting a little bit pissed off with the place being turned into Disneyland. And then even I actually shouldered that burden of guilt. And, but for all that's said and done, I never encountered any sort of bad attitude. I just thought, these guys, they're putting up with a lot of fucking tourists here. You can't fucking move. And the heat, I don't know how they do it. Well, I do know how they do it. They have air-conditioned jackets. That's the Japanese. Do you know? An air-conditioned jacket. Would you ever have even thought of the like? As the rain begins to smatter upon the Golden Gate leaves, falling, ever falling, until winter caresses us with its cold, icy hand. Sooner or later, we're going to be battened down to the nines, and you won't see anyone around here. You don't see many people now. But we're well wrapped up, layer after layer, day after day, ready to take on whatever may be thrown our way. And we're doing it. And we're crunching the numbers, and we're coming back with results, and then going further and producing more results as well on top of that. Do it for you, do it for me, do it for whoever makes you feel free. It's just another day in paradise as far as I'm concerned. Looking forward to the next installment of the Nürburgring time trials. I have to say, that last race I did was fantastic. It took a little bit of time, but got there in the end. And it made me feel as though the possible Gold Trove time trial attack might not come out at all. It's just 20 seconds off pace, 40 seconds off pace, maybe. But then I went and tried it the other day, and it turns out the car that they give you has a little bit more pep in its step. Maybe there's new tyres, there's different tyres on it, maybe the engine is tuned a little bit differently. But I purchased the base model of the same car they used in the time trial, and I used that the last day. You saw that I was behind the wheel in that beast. An absolute fucking cream beaster of a yoke. So much poke in its arse. And the balloons I put on were super soft, so you had that style and comfort coming into each and every meandering turn. And the apex, didn't feel a thing. And, so to my surprise, the yoke they give you for the Time Trial Express extravaganza has a little bit more bombast in it. And, look, it doesn't look like it's going to be too far away from achieving that gold. But once you get on a stream and you do it, I start off with the best of intentions. I'm full of chat. I can field questions and give advice, financial, motor, life, mental health, well-being, comfort, style, whatever you want. I'm basically a Sunday Independent magazine supplement of information on hand at any given moment. But when it comes down to the brass tacks of beating that time and getting in there and getting the result, I have to fall silent. The only thing you can hear is the screech of the tyre the rev of the engine, and the beats of the deep house. And some fantastic selections were being made the last day as well. Some absolutely unbelievable music knowledge going on in the chat box. Thank you very much there to Toro Face Tat for your tip. They're really looking forward to your TED Talk next year, Cons. Thanks for everything, buddy. Beautiful tip, and thank you very much. Lovely sentiment. But what would I say about that TED Talk? I suppose what I would say is Ted who? You know, what is this, 2017? Haven't heard of a TED Talk in years. Suppose they were the proto-podcasts. Even though there were podcasts before then, you know, since way back 2003, you had, you know, the Gervais one was one of the first ones I remember. Or multiple ones from news outlets, The Times, The Guardian Technology Podcast, The Guardian Media Podcast, The Irish Times Weekly Digest, and whatnot. It wasn't until, you know, the Rogan sphere really began to emerge in the mid-2010s. I suppose earlier than that it started, but it really became to become the behemoth we know and love now, around, you know, 2016, 2017. That crucial moment in recent human history, where you had the regime change in the States, the ascendancy of the Trump administration, the fault lines, and the American dream becoming ever more present and apparent. And then the blend of TED Talk, the popularity of that. Multiple pods saw it and probably thought, that's a recipe, that's something we can work with, let's take it, let's co-opt it and try and generate a little bit of heat using their formula, you know. Just get someone with a hope, a dream, and a 20-minute chat, stick it on, let's elongate it, let's make it fucking 3 hours, let's do it twice a week, make people pay for the second installment. That kind of way, you know, subscription mindset. Not something I've really been too keen on, even though I do admire, getting piss wet here, do admire the business, the hustle, the grind. You know, I just hasn't really been my thing yet, but maybe one day I'll come up with something. I'm gonna get out of here because I feel like a tit. Just giving you all this great advice in the rain. Maybe there's something to be said for it. Let's go Fellini on it. Let's go Fellini on it. Sitting here in the pissing rain. Why the hell not? Don't relapse with the candy flipping. Been there, done that, bought the podcast. Literally. Bought the fucking high tier Patreon sub. Thought I was going to be involved in an elite tier sphere. Thought I was going to be involved in the extra goings on, you know, the chats with the community. Turned out there was no community. Turned out the community turned on me because they didn't like my opinions. Fucking scumbags. And I paid the money as well. Just goes to show there's a lot of snakes out there in the high tiers. Don't believe their lies. It becomes its own little Lord of the Flies as well, you know. You get other people who subbed the high tier and they're in the little fucking exclusive chat zone with you. But there's people who fucking they put work in. They're there every day, ready to quash whatever you say or come up with a better fucking witty or a Betty's hot pot of a response, you know. There's only so much time you can put into it, and I don't have enough time, literally don't have enough time to spend chatting inside the Joe Rogan high tier express Patreon fund chat box. And you know what? I could see that I was putting in the work and giving some great opinions. And then my opinions were being regurgitated on the podcast itself as well. Not only him, but fucking Jocko Willink, another snake in the grass, for stealing opinions. Completely cribbed my retreat, reload, and re-engage business from his own little fucking Patreon high-tier sub-chat and put it out as his own stink. Fucking nightmare when I heard that. Then I flagged it in the chat. I said, lads, I've got the screenshots. I've even got screenshots. Some of you just responding going, that's great. But it was quashed by an admin. Fucking removed it. And then I think I was shadow banned as well. Scumbag move. Absolute scumbag move. So I don't really bother with it anymore, you know. And I'm saving all my opinions for my own streams. And then I'm saving the even better ones for my own business. Because you don't want to let the cat out the bag when there are so many people wanting to get ahead themselves, you know. Keep that cat inside the bag. Make sure it's got enough room to fucking breathe. Don't strangle the feline. And give it enough love and attention. Stroke its head. And give it the snacks and treats it deserves. Make sure it's got water. Make sure it's got water. Do you know? Jocko the snake. The best form of flattery, cons. Imitation, is it? I do try to support the stream the best of my abilities for true love of the stream. Look, you're the fantastic fan that fans the flames of production. You're the Lorenzo Medici to my Conzino Chocolatici. I am the chocolate man. I can be sweet, I can be salty. I can add flecks of caramel if and at a fucking stroke of the pen. I can add an Ivan latte, which is a real Yates thunder twist on the old recipe. Thank you very much, by the way, Ivan. Connor, I can't believe I missed our weekly Bikram yoga session in Monkstown this morning. Well, look, we've been through it. You were pissed. My head's up my arse. Jesus, man, what was I thinking? Polluting my own taste buds and brain cells with Jameson. Had they no dingle or tealings. Also, I love your kimono. Thanks very much. Tell you, it's not just about the kimono or the tealings. But you can't go wrong with a Middleton. Or a green spot, or a yellow spot. Or a 15-year plus a cask-aged redbreast. And that's what I swear by. So I was just sickened to see him and scared for him, you know, to see him drinking that stuff. No offense to the Jameson. Look, it's done a lot of great work out there as well in the whiskey world. It's one of the top ones that anyone thinks of when it comes to mine, but any connoisseur, any true cask merchant knows what I mean when you can't beat the sniff, the whiff of the redbreast on a fine Christmas morn. That's the sound of the siren there. Hopefully not for the Yates squad. The Yates squad coming for me. Maybe for ye.
Feel the dream.
Maybe for ye. But it's just gone 9:10, lads. As I stand here in the pissing rain, offering tidbit after tidbit of indispensable advice on how to go about your daily business. I have to bow out, dip out and say, hasta la vista, hasta luego, sayonara, goodbye, slán au revoir, ciao bella, ciao, and we'll talk to you. From me, the beans, the scenes, the surroundings, the offices, the trees, the leaves, and the raindrops. You've been wonderful company. I've been Connor Williams. In association with Lint and the art of coffee. Feel the beans. Feel the dreams.
I think he is.
Is he there?
He is.
Bezos. Good stuff, buddy.
And he's listening to News Talk.
Today FM. You take the bull by the horns and you ride that bastard out of town. You've Lesotho'd all you can embassy. I am livid. Targets. Funkmaster Flex. Bar charts. Falco, Crawl, Lockton. A lot of the hardball gets played inside there. More of a bricks and mortar kind